and welcome to Rise of the Podcast. I would say this is very, very special because normally we just film out of a small studio here in the area. And we have two extremely special guests on tonight. Chris and Christine, who have both played huge parts in Star Wars. And we're going to ask you some questions and talk to you guys about what it's like. Yeah. So this will be to both of you. How has Excalibur been in the area treating you so far?
Oh, fantastic. People come in costume and we love that. I love people in costume and super busy.
Yeah,
yesterday was super busy. I mean, it's
really nice to meet everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you get a chance? Do you like the view of the Lake Superior? And because is this your first time here?
Yes.
Yeah. We ate in the rotating restaurant last night.
Oh, fun!
Nice.
Had a little sensation of mild earthquakes, but just the restaurant spinning around. Yeah. It's great.
How'd you get started in acting in general? How'd you get started?
Okay. I got started by the agent. They called me in to do a bidding. They don't tell you what it is because it's like a code name.
Okay.
So when I went to the studio to try on the costume, that was when one of the dressers asked me, like, "Hey, are you a huge Star Wars fan?" Like, no. I heard about it, but I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but I heard about it. Like, why? What's up? Like, okay, well, you'll be working one of the series. This is the new series that they're gonna be doing. Like, oh wow, that's awesome. Like, okay. But the thing is, for trying out the costume, you have to fit the role for it. And lucky enough, I got fitted for the astronaut one. That was like the very first one I did. And throughout the year, that's when they continued using me of different other creatures. And that's how I got so many creatures to play.
So was R2 your first acting role?
No, R2 wasn't my first. I would say R2 would be probably my fourth or my third role. And that one, the reason how I got it, I guess, what I heard, John Favreau was talking about it, that he wants someone to be R2-D2, to bring the life character alive. And next, that's when I got an email. And I didn't know it was for R2-D2 until I had to go to a bidding. Mm-hmm. So I had to go to the studio and see what's all about until once I got there. That's when they asked me, you had to wait for a while because John Favreau and Dave Filoni it's on set right now filming, but they want to see you trying on the costume. Like, okay, so what is it? He showed it to me.
Was it under a cover?
It was under the cover.
Was there a real dramatic, and then dust?
It was kind of like that, man. Very slow motion. And it was during COVID, so nobody knows how happy you are.
Oh, because
Right.
And soon when the sheet was on, I was like, oh my god. This one? You want me to be for R2-D2? Like, yes, they want to try you. They want you to be R2-D2. But you had to try out first. Okay.
Wow.
That's amazing.
It was 45-minute wait for them to come.
And you're sitting there, you and R2 are just having a moment.
Yeah, I'm just glancing, staring him at. I'm like, oh my god, this is I'm the first female. This would be awesome. Hopefully they pick me. Gotta show it off.
Right.
And do my best for, to show improvement what I could do with R2-D2. And that's when they asked me, well, Christine, we like your potential knowledge. Welcome to the Book of Boba Fett. Okay.
That's
yeah.
So how old were you when you got your first acting role?
They started filming 2019.
Wait.
On the map.
Were you another character before R2? Have you ever acted before R2?
Before R2, I was the Jawas.
Right. So were the Jawas your first acting role?
No, my first acting was the astronaut.
So you didn't act before Star Wars?
No.
Oh, wow.
I didn't act
I never
nothing.
knew that. Oh, okay.
No.
Huh.
So astronaut was my first to puppeteer the astronaut, which pretty much walking up and down the walkway.
Which episode is that?
Mandalorian season 1, episode 2.
Mandalorian 1.
Season 1, episode 2.
Got it. Okay, and it's a little astronaut looking guy.
Yeah, the little guy. I think. It's a big scene in the beginning when Mando and Grogu was out and about looking. They went to the village, I
remember
believe,
that, yeah.
and they were like scoping into the city that they were lost, but they were just looking around what's going on. And then you see other creature coming out, and then you see me walking up to them. You know, I don't wave at them. I'm like being so serious.
Right. Yes, you're a serious character. Yeah. I as a kid always I grew up with Star Wars. I was 7 years old when the first film came out in theaters, and so I was playing. You know, save up my allowance and getting action figures and making up stories in the shag carpet in my living room and every birthday, every Christmas was Star Wars, and so I was a real fan from the beginning. But then you grow up and you have a regular life, and then I was about 30, and I had this real desire to play characters as an actor, but I didn't know how to get started as an actor. So I would build costumes and come to Comic-Cons. Like ExcaliburCon, and play characters, but I would play them for real. So if I'm a stormtrooper, I would walk around going, "All right, let me see your identification."
I love when people do that.
Yes, right. You feel like you're in having a little moment there.
Yeah.
And so I built a stormtrooper and Boba Fett. I built Jawas for my kids and Gom Droid for my daughter and.
You still have that Jawas costume?
Yes, I do. That's good. And I built Tusken Raider and all kinds of. And then I spent 3 years and built my own C-3PO costume. And this was before any 3D printing or any fan groups or fan costumes. And so I spent 3 years, and that's like you go to work, you come home, you have dinner, put the kids to bed, and then you work out in the garage till 2 a.m. On this, or work with your buddy in his fiberglass shop or whatever. And so then the first time I wore the costume, it was just like spray can gold and weathered. It was not shiny, beautiful throne room gold. And it was at an event with Anthony Daniels, who's the original actor who played Star Wars. He was opening the Boston Museum of Science, the Star Wars exhibit, and so I was just there as a fan. And I was walking around and playing the character as best as I could. I'd been working on the movement and a little bit on the voice and things like that. And a video emerged from that event. And it went to YouTube, and Lucasfilm saw this video, and then I get an email that said, "We would like you to come in for a meeting."
Oh my gosh!
And bring your costume. And so I went in for this meeting, and I finished assembling the suit at Lucasfilm, which had now been chromed, so it was all shiny. And then we did the audition, which again was a movement audition. They wanted to see if I could move and do the mannerisms. But I wanted to nail this so bad. So you can see the lights on here. And I just turned to them and I said, "My goodness, why hello, I am C-3PO.
Oh my gosh.
I am fluent in over 6 million forms of communication." And they're like, "That's enough. You're going to go to Australia and you're going to do this event and we'll see how it goes." And I was like, "Wow, that's amazing." They just need a substitute for today. Okay, cool, that's great. I had no idea that they were casting for we'll call it an understudy for Anthony Daniels. And so now next year will be 20 years that I've been playing C-3PO for Lucasfilm.
That's amazing.
Thank you very much.
That's so cool.
That's how I got started. C-3PO was my first acting.
Unbelievable.
Like-
Incredible.
For both of you to have entered in two different ways, but still end up as two of the most iconic characters in all Star Wars.
Well, that's actually a detail that a lot of people don't know. Because when I wanted to be an actor, I didn't know how to start doing that. So I just did what I wanted to do, which was play characters.
Yeah.
You know? And there's no like step 1, 2, 3, 4, and now you're an actor.
Yeah.
Everybody's path is different, which is actually really freeing for a creative person who wants to play characters. Maybe you start in community theater. Maybe you take an acting class. I mean, you should take an acting class. But yeah, everyone's path is different. And I think the thread that goes through all of those origin stories is that you're doing something that you really want to do, and you don't mind practicing it. You don't mind studying it. You don't mind being patient for 6 years as a cosplayer or whatever else you're doing. I was 36 before I was cast in my first role, and I was 48 before I was cast as a series regular on a show.
That's amazing. I've listened to Anthony Daniels' audiobook, and because you have to audiobook with him.
For sure.
Yeah.
And C-3PO is the most under cosplayed character at any Comic-Con event. I think because of the difficulty.
Yeah, now with 3D printing, you see them a lot more often.
Yeah.
But originally, we were starting almost from scratch. We had some random parts like a foot and an arm, and try to create something out of that. That's why it took 3 years.
Yeah.
Now,
totally.
was your C-3PO silver leg or gold leg?
Silver leg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
I mean,
So Christine, okay, so now we've got your start, and you're how do you be R2-D2? Like you're inside R2-D2?
Yeah, so I'm inside the can. That's what everybody calls the can. Which is.
Now, before you give all this information away for free. Good.
Okay. Well, actually, when John Favreau did when he saw me trying on the costume, inside it wasn't like nice luxury, whatever, but John wanted to pat it because everything inside was so pokey and metal. So he told the handler that create the R2-D2 and told her, hey, can you make sure Christine is safe inside there? And you want her to be feel more like safe in there, like padded with all the safety and comfortable. Yeah. And all that. So I was like, okay, that's awesome, And then, once I got to the lot, which is they film it outside from the studio lot, everything was ready to go for me to go start doing the film and all that stuff. But, like normally when all call time is like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And they don't start filming till like 8 or 9. And I don't know why they call you up early and they want you to be there. I guess because they want to feed you and they have you wake up and all this energy. That way you don't feel like, I'm here now, what do you want me to do?
As actors, you get paid to wait, and then acting is a bonus. All day.
Yeah, so you're pretty much waiting all day for them and all. But yeah, like being in R2 is a lot of fun. The only thing I can't see anything in it except this little marble clear thing. If you guys know what I'm talking about.
We call that the hollow projector.
Okay, yeah. So that's the only thing I can look at.
That's all you get.
That's
that's all I get to see. My vision.
Is it clear? Can you see there? Or is it like fish eyes upside down?
No. So if you get like a clear marble and you just look at it, you see like a blur, right? But the thing is, like when I'm seeing Mandalorian and Ahsoka on the little platform stage thing, they like upside down. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, where are they? Are they? No, try to vision whatever. But luckily, like before I was putting on the head, or I was like watching them where they standing. That way I could figure where is Ahsoka coming from. Because I know she come and patted me, but the only thing I can't feel you because. The metal is out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's patting me, and I'm telling, can you just shake me? Instead of patting, I don't feel that.
Yes.
But when you do the shake, I can feel that part.
So did she do that?
Yeah, she did.
Cool.
That's awesome. It's like, now we know why C-3PO bonks R2-D2.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, he's just trying to let him know that he's talking.
I'm here. Do you have a funny moment or just anything that stuck out about being in R2?
Well, there is a funny moment because in the beginning when they first filmed it, I was just standing there when they were filming it, and I didn't know what's my cue line because I couldn't hear them. And that's when the director, cut it, hold on. So they opened the top of the head, Christine, can you hear them? No, actually I don't hear them. I tried to listen, but I couldn't hear them, and that's when the sound crew gave me the headphones. With the mic, so I can actually talk to them.
Oh,
Smart.
It's funny,
R2 sounds like you on set.
I pretty much, yeah.
It's your voice on the microphone.
Yeah,
it's funny, that they don't know. You don't know until you try doing these things what works and what doesn't.
I mean, R2's been around so long, you think they would have had that figured out by now?
Maybe.
But I mean,
So when I'm filming, the sound crew, they'll be telling me, okay, look at Boba Fett. Okay, look at Ahsoka. Shake! No, harder! Shake! Okay? And then when I was moving the head, Christine, slowly move the head. So I'm slowly, okay, fast. Not too fast, because we can hear you. Okay?
That's absolutely incredible.
But it was a lot of fun to be on set with them and all that.
You're dropping names that a lot of everybody in this room would probably love to meet between Filoni and Favreau. It's we live vicariously through you guys, so it's incredible to hear these stories. So Chris, Anthony Daniels, I've been to celebrations he's been at, and I've been really close to him, and he always really loves and appreciates the character of C-3PO. Possessive is probably not the correct word, but it's very much so part of his identity is who he is.
Well, he was part of the creation of C-3PO with George. I mean. There was a costume sculpted by Liz Moore, and it was a character written by George. And then Anthony, this is his story, so I'm sure he tells this. But he was doing the voice in the suit, and they had planned on using Mel Blanc.
Absolutely,
yep. The voice of Bugs Bunny for the voice of C-3PO. And then Mel told George, he sounds great, just use him.
Yeah.
So he's our creator of this.
I forget that detail, but he made the voice. He played the part. He did what you did. He played the part so well. He felt drawn to C-3PO, and he played the part so well. They let him be the voice and the character.
Yeah.
He talks about
that's something as a creative person I always encourage people to do. You don't ask permission to do something creative. Just if there's a director or a boss or whatever, they can always say, "Okay, let's do take two." Let's when I went for. The Ferryman, which is a character that I play in the very first scene in the first episode of Mandalorian. He's a Kubaz species who has goggles and a snout, and all the lines were in English. So I learned the lines, and I just came up with a voice. I figured, what if he sounds like a Soviet used car salesman? And so when I went in, we were rehearsing with Dave and John. And I said, but I assure you, the speeder is brand new. Just arrived on the speedway freighter. And John says, "Oh, that's good. Let's cartoon it down a little." And I go, "Oh yeah, I can do it. I can cartoon it down a little less exaggerated." So I tell people, bring ideas and just try them, because if we get hung up in "Oh, is it okay? Can I ask permission? Should I ask permission for this?" Then a lot of times people be like, "Oh, I don't know what that's going to be like." No, never mind. Just do it, because there's always going to be a second take. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you, Anthony Daniels talked about being claustrophobic and putting on the suit and what it was like. We talked to Christine about getting an R2-D2. What's it like putting on C-3PO, but also being on set for the very first time? I mean, I can see you had
Those
to be.
are two different, yeah. So being you can see I brought this head. This is one of the production helmets that I wear for filming, and you can
That's
just see in the middle are the little dark pupils. That's all you can see through, and that's like drinking straws. So if you stand in a dark room and whatever, it's
Drinking straws.
But anyway, so it takes a little bit getting used to that because you can still see inside. You can see resin and fiberglass and wires and lights, but you really don't want to focus on that because it can be very disorienting and feel a little bit or a lot like Man in the Iron Mask situation. So what I do, the trick is you focus on what you're seeing out here. So like Christine saw Ahsoka and Boba Fett. I'm looking out and I see Jon Favreau smiling. A land speeder or stormtroopers or I see R2. I usually look for R2's lights for orientating myself. But just like with anything hard that you really want to do, say you want to learn how to play guitar because you love the sound of it, you don't mind doing all the hard things like the practicing or the building up the calluses on your fingers or whatever because you really love the music,
right?
And it doesn't bother you to do the hard things, and that's what C-3PO is like. Being in the costume is like. Being on set for the first time, you are an instant movie star. Thanks to Anthony Daniels.
Yes, yeah.
George Lucas and Star Wars. When I was asked one time to do the Oscars, present at the Oscars, John Williams was receiving his 50th Oscar nomination. So it was a big surprise. C-3PO and R2-D2 and BB-8 roll out on stage, right? That was a surprise. It was very top secret. And so when we're backstage, there's movie stars. There's not people dressed as movie stars. And so I didn't want to walk around with my head off, the whole Disney character integrity thing. But also me, I didn't want to do that. So So I told my dresser, just do the whole thing, and I told R2, just try and keep up. And so we were backstage at the Oscars, lost. I forgot the tickets. How dare you? The tickets were your job, you nitwit. I'm not getting in there with you. That is restricted. Will be deactivated for sure. And so through these little eyes, I see movie stars coming over, Lady Gaga and others.
Oh my gosh.
C-3PO, can I take a photo with you? And inside, I'm like, what? On the outside, you have to be, well, yes, of course. Pay attention. But what was so satisfying for me in that moment and playing this character on any set is you get to see people have a moment where their mind goes back to their childhood. And that is such a special part of being the part of the legacy of this kind of character.
That's absolutely amazing. I can only imagine what that must be like too to have people, because you are C-3PO, you are him now, as represented him when the suit's on.
Yeah, at Lucasfilm we don't call this C-3PO, we call this the costume. Just like we don't call the costume R2-D2, we call it R2 when Christine is inside, because it takes a person to, an actor to bring this costume to life. That's why when we see people in costume at shows, like we see Hera right back here, it looks so good. You're wearing a costume, but you inside it make the character. So if you say things that Hera might say or have her attitude, like that she would have, that's bringing the character. Because anyone can bring a costume, but it takes a performer or a person in that costume to bring the character. So, yeah.
In your free time, so Christine, do you ever wish you had some of the powers of R2-D2, like unlock doors or get to where you need to be?
I I don't know.
You can probably do a lot more.
Yeah, I can.
You ever shot Ewoks?
Yes.
Yeah, like tase Ewoks.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Have a taser on demand. I know you see, sometimes when I'm out and about, I'll pretend, use the force to open a door or something like that. Do you have anything where you pop on a protocol voice to throw someone off guard?
Well, I have learned several greetings. He's fluent in a few languages. So I have learned a few language greetings, like konnichiwa, or annyeonghaseyo. Yes. Hola, mis amigos. Yeah, I mean, that's guten Tag. Yeah. But no, what else he doesn't like flying. He hates space travel. We did play D&D yesterday here at ScholarCon. And my character happened to sound exactly like C-3PO, which is really funny.
Do you have any? You've been able to meet fans down at your tables. Do you have any? And it could be any convention you've been to. Do you have any memorable fan moments, Christine? Like one person stuck out to you that you just loved interacting with? Anything that they did special, or?
I like meeting, especially the kids.
Yes.
They don't understand, who's R2? But of course the parent does know it, but I have to explain it to the little kid, R2, the little guy that plays the droid. We also have C-3PO, which is his friend.
C-3PO.
And I'll tell them and all, and then sometimes I used to give out little stickers to the kids that they could memorize me.
Yeah.
Who I am. But I don't have any. But yeah, just meeting a fan with them, show them if you want to encourage yourself to be, especially the cosplay people, just continue being your character, if you want to be something else, then do that and build other costumes,
Yeah.
And, and achieve that goal, whatever, to show how talent you are,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah. For me, some people react to the voice differently than others in a more emotional way. And they're not expecting to hear the voice. So sometimes I'll say, now I want you to look into these eyes. And then I go stand behind them. And maybe they're, what's your name?
Kara, sorry.
Yeah.
Lost my voice.
So I'll stand behind Kara and she's looking in this face. And I say, Miss Kara, it's wonderful to meet you. I am C-3PO, and say something like that. And this sometimes in certain people triggers a real emotional response, and then you see tears. And that's happened several times, and those are really special moments because, like I said, we do this to entertain. Mm-hmm. And part of it is because we enjoy seeing people have a good time and creating an atmosphere where you can escape from whatever and then have a really special moment. And so
I love that. That's really nice.
We're also good at planning road trips for our families, right? Yeah.
Dragging them on the road to all these different conventions.
We can stop here. Are we there yet?
I think that has a huge impact. There's a whole business model, where people will pay to hear a shout out from a celebrity or different things like that. I got Master Chief Steve Downs to do a shout out on our anniversary one year, and I probably wanted more. Kara loved that gift. She'll probably save the soundbite you just did and keep it.
I mean, you're not wrong.
We'll do one for episode.
Yes, I love that.
So it feels really good for you to do that. I don't know how much you can say because I know a lot of this is under wraps. But is there any character or any role coming up that you can talk about, or anything that you guys are excited about for the future, moving forward in your personal careers or at Star Wars? Either one. Christine, do you have any?
Yes. We do have this one. It's called Schmitty.
Schmitty Circuit.
movie circuit.
Yeah.
And
Created by Cheryl Chase, who's also signing here, the voice of Angelica Pickles.
Oh, awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it was so nice that I got this role to be filming with her and all that stuff. And I'm super thrilled. Just I wish right now it's on the editing, but I'm just hoping it will come out soon.
Yeah. We wrapped on Schmitty Circuit in May or June, and so now it's in post production, and it's about a snarky little robot who he accidentally comes to life. He's been a toy on the shelf in this family's house for 30 years, and now he comes to life, and he's super helpful, but he's also been recording everything that he's been seeing and hearing in the house for all that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun and weird, but it's a lot of fun.
So this is a new story, new character.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you prepared? Because you will see somebody make this and probably cosplay as it. Just so you know, I bet you will see that. Because it amazes me, like Skeleton Crew has come out and you see people. I love Neil from Skeleton Crew.
Yes.
And you see people start cosplaying as him. You're gonna probably see it.
Maybe so, yeah.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
Are you in it?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Yeah.
I'm also in it. I play Calvin Culpepper, who's a very successful actor on a #1 sci-fi TV show.
Ooh.
And Schmitty is, embarrassing to everybody. But he's just trying to be helpful. He just wants to help. So it's an adult comedy, I think.
Okay.
It's just really snarky, kind of adult humor. I play an on-camera character, we call it, which is someone who's not wearing a mask.
That's so cool to hear
and
about.
Cheryl plays my older sister, Carol Culpepper, and so we're in this family, and there's other really interesting characters too. So the three of us are here at this show, but we've also created a show on our own.
That's incredible.
So, yeah.
This may seem silly. Where do you know when it comes out? Where we're going to be able to how are we going to be able to watch this?
Right. We're not sure yet.
Okay.
But that's part of when you make something, it has to be distributed. And we don't know how exactly that'll be. But there is an Instagram for updates. So if you go to Schmitty Circuit on Instagram, you can find all the updates and you'll see behind the scenes stuff.
Perfect, because I'm absolutely going to do it. I am going to watch this. I'm super excited. It's going to mean so much more because just even being able to interact with you guys to me, it's just that it's that first degree. You voice actors are some of the coolest people on the planet. I don't think they get a recognition that regular actors do, but you guys kind of do both. Your persona's physical presentation isn't in, but you're in the costume and you do acting. I'm just patting you guys in the back. I think what you do is incredible. That's all there is to it. It's like you're some of the coolest interactions I think is with we've got all these James Arnold Taylor does a shout out on his podcast for us. We've got to the guy who plays Samurai Jack, and he's on Futurama. Just these voice actors, Steve Down, they're all incredible. And I just appreciate you guys coming out and giving Duluth a shot and being here with us, because this has been one of the top moments I've got to do.
Well, can I share a story from set?
Of course you can.
A couple of years ago, we lost legend Carl Weathers. And, going to set, this is Apollo Creed. This is, he seems like he's 9.5 feet tall in our minds. But on set, Carl was just a guy coming to work to tell interesting stories with compelling characters with you. Like, he wanted to do it with you. And I would come on a set, I would have my mask, whatever droid I was wearing, and I would come on a set with the mask on, and then I would just look for things to interact with, consoles or knobs or buttons or whatever. And then we'd roll into rehearsing, then we'd roll right into shooting. And I'm all prepared with all my lines and everything, and I go right into the scene. And Carl, one time we were filming season 3 of Mandalorian, he goes, "Chris, I want to see your face. I want to have an emotional connection with you so that when you put on the mask, I can still see your face in my mind, and the audience can have see the emotional connection between us, and then and they'll feel that connection between the characters." And I was like, "Oh, yes, great idea, Carl." I mean, he's a director too, and it was so generous. You think coming, that these massive, celebrities would just come on and just do their thing and leave and let other people, do their thing. But no, he really was just a guy coming to work to work with you, and he just really drew me in. We really connected over the work of the scenes, and so when you watch season 3 of The Mandalorian, I play another shiny droid named Copper, and you'll see me in his office, and we're talking, and I'm pointing out an Imperial cruiser passing overhead. He says, "No, that's our friends, the Mandalorian privateers." And I'm like, "No, that's not what my data says." But I know we were talking, and you look at Carl and Copper, and it is very mentor-mentee relationship, and it's really Carl and Chris.
That's amazing.
That's super cool.
So we really miss him. But he gave so much to that show because he really cared about the characters and the storytelling.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
He was one of Mando's the name of the show, but he really grew into a character that you started to really love. Yes, Grief Karga in the show. Mando, I can't do any voices, but he interacts with Mando.
Hearing that on set was just so. His voice was booming anywhere on set.
Yeah,
and. But then you work with other people like Gina Carano, the sweetest heart on any set. Brendan Wayne, who is often in the suit for Mando, and Lateef also who does the stunts, the fighting. But Jon Favreau would show up on, he's on set, he's an executive producer, but he's also really sometimes he's directing, and he would come in the morning. We'd have an alien, we'd have an assassin droid, we'd have a protocol droid, a bounty hunter, and a mayor. And John would say, "Remember when your dad taught you how to ride a bike? And he was really excited for you to have this new skill and this freedom, but I was a little worried about you crashing and hurting yourself. But you couldn't care. You were just, all you thought about was the new freedom, and you could be like the big kids, and you didn't care about, think about wrecking." And he goes, "That's what we're shooting today." And I'm like, "Oh, that's so relatable, and every day was like that. One of John's strengths was making the story so relatable. You can see yourself in a lot of stories, or you can see people in some of these stories, and that's what makes these stories so fun to watch.
Christine, what advice would you give someone who dreams of working in Star Wars? Do you have any advice that you want to give to someone who wanted to try to do what you do?
Just don't stop of doing. Just keep going. Just go at it. Don't ever stop. Like for me, I have a job, 9 to 5. I work for Disneyland Resort, and I was working in the bottom as a hairstylist until I worked my way up to be a lead for them. And then now I'm in the position to be a manager for them.
For cosmetology?
For cosmetology.
Cool.
So that's why I never stopped. I kept going and going till you try to achieve your goal. And that's why, for you guys, just don't ever stop. Just keep going. You never know who's gonna stop you? Hey, I like you. I want you to be part of the show or something like that. Something like that. And so.
That is wonderful. Hey, Chris, same question to you.
Yeah, to Christine's point, I believe that in the universe, energy does not waste. No, energy is never dissipates. It just transfers into something else. And I mean, that's true. I don't just believe that, but so no effort is wasted either. So if you're putting something, if you're learning to play the piano, or learning to play a character, or learning just to build a prop or something, just make it exist, and then you can make it better later. So don't let perfection be the enemy of completion. You know what I mean? Because you're never completed. You're always moving forward. None of us are born knowing how to do this. We all have to learn. And so the first tries are always, you're always going to fail the first time. Just get it out of the way. Just do it, But then, no effort is wasted in when you're trying to learn something, because it builds onto the next thing and onto the next thing. So, you just keep trying. And we're really just trying stuff. When we're on set, I'm not going to give away how she operates R2-D2, but, I often have someone film me doing motion so that I can see, I hear a, big explosion, how do I react to that? So I'm trying stuff, and I look at the video playback, and I'm like, okay, that's good. Oh, no, maybe I should do a little bit more. We're just trying stuff, and you just try stuff for long enough until you feel happy with what you're doing, and it's satisfying to yourself, and you just keep going. But that effort and that energy you put into stuff eventually comes back to you in ways that are bigger than you could have possibly imagined. You couldn't have orchestrated one day playing R2-D2, no matter those things the things you chase always seem the most elusive. And so you just do the thing for you, and I was doing the thing for me.
That's the same thing what I did for Jawas, because there's 24 of us playing Jawas, and then during the time it went down to 6. And lucky you know, I was one of the 6. And next thing you know, that's when Skeleton Crew came out or start filming, they want to look for Jawas. So lucky I was one of the chosen to play the Jawa. And lucky enough, there's only 3 Jawas that got chosen to play the Skeleton Crew. And I was so fortunate just to be working with the kids and all that, and meeting Jude Law as well.
Oh, his character in Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
Jawas are so unbelievably awesome. There was one yesterday that was scooting around, and it was just really fun. In the opening scene of Star Wars, Jawas shoot R2-D2 right off the bat.
Disgusting creatures, I can't find those Jawas.
I was told that everybody was going to get an 8x10 for coming to the panel, just a free one. I'm not sure who's responsible for
Was there
handing
any
it
questions?
So I was going to say, they can go down and purchase an autograph or signature from your booth after this, and then we're going to kick off to some questions. And we're going to open up a Q&A right now. So, does anybody have any questions?
There's one right over there.
Okay, so you mentioned that you made your
C-3PO.
I'm nervous, sorry.
Okay.
And what did you use as a material for that? Because that would have been before a lot of stuff like Formula, I believe.
Yeah, we were casting in different materials. Like I said, we were just trying stuff. So some parts were vacuum formed, like Stormtrooper armor. Some parts were fiberglass. Some were cast in resin. Some were cast in, some parts were cast in rubber composites, so it could be a little flexible. So we were just trying a lot of different materials. That's why it took 3 years. Good question. But you just find the thing that works for you. I do all my own stunts in these suits, so I play 20 characters now in Star Wars. 17 of them are droids. And like half of them get shot or disintegrated or fallen down or brutally insulted, and so the costumes have to stand up to that. Yeah.
Did you have like a cooling system
No, you just take a lot of little breaks. So, take the head off as often as you can. Because if you take little breaks throughout the day, you can go longer. Back in my early days of costuming, there used to be this badge of courage if you could stay in it the longest than any other, stormtrooper or something. And I'm like, why? You don't have to do that. You could be going all day if you just take little breaks. So there's no cooling. There's no room for padding like there is. This crushed velvet over here. Rich Corinthian leather. Yeah, good question. Sure. Yes.
So, with playing 20 characters, 17 droids, how do you keep characters separate and they don't bleed into each other? And
Right.
Just the mesh of this is a droid.
Right. That's a great question, and it's one of the most fun challenges in because Christine plays more than one droid too, and plays Jawas too, and you treat them as any other character. There might be a bounty hunter, there might be a bartender, or a teacher, or a servant, or a interpreter, or a mercenary, and so I try to give them all different personalities, and it's just a really fun challenge. So a lot of the times I look at what the costume looks like, or what the script talks about, because there is no character. There's only words on the page. And it's up to you to come up with what the character really is as an actor. So, there's a bunch of pictures at our tables of our characters, and we'd love to tell you more about how we came up with the animation, or the energy, or the personality of each of those characters. Yeah, probably too much to go with right now. Yeah, good question. I got a question for Hera over there. What was your first name? Steph. So you built your costume, right?
Parts of it.
Yeah. And is this the first time you were wearing it?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, this is so cool. Oh, great. Yes. Nice.
Steph won a contest. She won the Saturday contest.
Did you? Oh, congratulations. Yeah, awesome. Good. Any other questions?
I guess I have a question. So one of the things you talk about, animating the droids and stuff like that. So what is the difference between playing a regular role versus a droid role?
A regular role? What do you mean?
Like a human person versus a droid.
Well, yeah, the droids are machines. So every individual piece of the droid is a machine. The arm is an arm machine. The head is a head machine. And so you think of all the pieces move individually, and that's part of how we treat the droid. But also, a cold killing machine who's programmed for destruction is different than a translator droid who is thrust into a rebellion. And so his personality would be he's always anxious. Imagine if you are always in a place that's scary and not where you're supposed to be. That would be so exasperating and frightening, whereas a teacher droid who is programmed for education, all of her movements would be very calm, and but they're all droid based because again they're all machine parts, but her movements are all very gentle and calm because she's where she's supposed to be. So that's one way to look at it.
Awesome.
Question for both of you. So is there a certain character, maybe from Star Wars or larger, from the books, from the comics, or maybe a character that hasn't, say, been in live action that either of you would like to play?
I have one for you. Do you have any?
I'm trying to think. Well, the Jawas, the Jawas are a lot different than R2-D2 and R5, all the droids, because the Jawas pretty much they run around, steal stuff, everybody, and and the only thing what I don't like about is the costume is too hot for me and all that, because
But you can sit down, right?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
sit down. But like during breaks and stuff, like they'll give us a little fan, like those little hand fans.
Yeah.
But we have to share with Jawas.
Oh, Jawas don't like to share.
Yeah, we have to share with each other. So normally, I'll bring my own, and I just like, no, this is mine, not yours.
I have one. From the Dr. Aphra comics, I really like 000. And 000 has a counterpart, I think it's BT1,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we can play those together, yeah. I love 000 because in the reading, he kind of reads like C-3PO if C-3PO were a psychotic killer. Because he's a torture droid, he has all these implements that come out of he's black or very dark and shiny. He has all these terrifying implements that come out of his hands. I would love to bring that character to live action. Yeah. And BT1. Because BT1 has a bunch of cool things that poke out too that you could operate from inside. Yeah.
That would be perfect.
Yes. Good question. Yes.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh. You could fight to the dead.
Is there any kind of like memento or like prop you guys were able to take from sets or that kind of supposed to take?
Did you steal anything from set?
As a Jawa, yeah.
Everything.
But as myself, no.
I mean,
There's one thing that actually is like a souvenir for me. They gave me a script of the Book of Boba.
That's so
Cool.
That
Super
was,
cool.
Like those things,
that's
like
a gift.
a gift for me as a kid.
Yeah.
So, which is nice because I know a lot of people ask me, "You telling me a lot of script? I'll buy off it." No. It's mine. But yeah, that's the only thing I have.
Yeah, I built all the droids except for Q90. I built all the droids that I wear on the shows.
Cool.
And thank you.
That's so cool.
So some of those I take home. But there have been other couple of things that I was just in the from the perspective of safety and the environment. If there's rubble laying around from Navarro that's been blown up, I mean, where's all that styrofoam going to go? That should go, maybe on my shelf. Protect it, protect the environment from
They do
extra.
keep
Yeah.
track because I do remember when I was on Skeleton Crew, one of the little boys, they want to keep the coin,
Oh, yeah.
coin
Yeah.
box.
Oh, yeah.
But they do count it how many they have. So they have to return it at the end. So I know those boys want to keep it, but I'm sorry, you can't, let's go on to the production.
Yeah, no, I didn't take anything like lightsabers or with actual props. Just cleaning up. They did blow up my cantina, so there was a lot of stuff laying around, and I'm just picking up the trash. That's all.
Very eco-conscious of you.
Yeah.
Following protocol.
Yes. Yeah.
One last question, so when you're in a full suit, do you get to practice at all in the suit before you go to acting, or are you just having to act on the spot?
Great question. The question is, do you get to rehearse your character before you rehearse the scene?
You said there's vision issues, do you ever get motion sick? So you have to kind of practice?
So limited vision, do you get to practice any for that?
I did for R2-D2 because when you're on set, you have to, because when you're in the studio trying on the costume, the ground is flatted and all that. But when you go on set, it's all dirt and hills and stuff. So you have to figure how to move R2-D2 and all that stuff. And yeah, they give us
too,
and the Jawas the vision as well. But I feel overall, you just have to, they'll let you practice or rehearse for a little bit before they shoot. And then there is a director of production tell you, okay, Jawa, go run over here and steal stuff, and then come back. Stuff like that. and they'll tell us what to do, and then we'll rehearse a little bit, and if they don't like it, they'll change it up.
Now, you do the voice of Jawas, right?
No, I don't do any voices.
I mean, like, if they want to do
The only thing I
Jawa,
know
what would
is,
a
like,
Jawa sound like? Yeah! That's right, yeah. We'll work on that. No, there's, that's a great question. And with limited vision, you do, as an actor, have to take it on yourself to make time for that. So I usually walk the set with the head off. I have to walk over there. It's about 12 steps. Halfway through, I have to say, "It's pirates!" And then I have to run out of the office before Carl Weathers tackles me. And I have to do that all without being able to see. Because in Copper, for season 3, I'm just looking at a blank inside of there's no vision at all. And so, yeah, we just practice it first. But like in terms of character, that is, you have to take the time yourself to do that, because you get to set and you go into rehearsal to do the scene. Not like, how does this character move? How does this character, relate to the other characters in movement? And you just have to do that yourself. And that's when you come up with ideas. For Q90, to me, he looks like a praying mantis. So I went home and watched praying mantis videos, which are terrifying. But they have this real cold, machine-like movement, and that's how I treated his movement for, to your question about coming up with, the different, how do you separate the individual characteristics. So yeah, that was one. I look at the costume and then, but I just tried that myself. I got there a little early. That's part of why we get there at 5 a.m. is, to try your own stuff. Yeah.
That is awesome.
You guys have a favorite moment or scene that you've been a part of? Like, what's your all-time favorite moment in Star Wars?
There is. My favorite scene was the skeleton crew. So there's 3 Jawas, right? And we were filming like 2 in the morning, and everybody wanted to go home. We were so tired, and everybody was so tired. But then all of a sudden, Jude Law walked in. He walked in, and that's when Yeah, he walked in and he was so admiring of the Jawas, right? But we were in face character and all that, and we can't see him. So he stopped right in front of us. But I think, he stopped right in front of us.
In front of you?
Yeah, in front of me. And that's when, because there was 2 other Jawas with me too. And it was during rehearsal, and so we ended up taking off our masks. Well, I didn't know because I kind of see what's going on, and he was giving us the moment, oh my God, you guys are my favorite.
Yes,
awesome. And all this stuff, I like what you guys do, and and next I hear the other Jawas can you hurry up? Because I want to go home. We need to go. We're all set. Come on. And then we were I was shh. Talking to us, and then the other Jawas was we'll talk to you when we get off the costume.
Wow.
So soon enough, he was having his moment, just admiring the Jawas, and when we got off set, do you know who that is? I don't give it, and another Jawas, I don't give a damn, who is that? Oh, I didn't know who Jude Law is.
What?
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, but us 2 moments, we had the moment. So exciting, But yeah, that was the memory. And then on top of that, he was on the show, Jimmy Kimmel, and he was talking about his scene, and he was talking about us.
Oh, that's awesome.
About John, that's us.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that was so awesome to hear that part.
That's amazing. Slightly envious, not gonna lie.
When I was working on Obi-Wan Kenobi, we have 100 stories like this, but on Obi-Wan Kenobi, I played one Jack, who is a droid that looks like, he's a Lam class droid. He looks like 4 Lam from The Empire Strikes Back. And I was hunting him on the rooftops and in alleys, and I get shot, and like I said, we do all of our own stunts, and I had to slam up against the wall and then fall on the ground. And the stunt coordinator said, we're not going to be able to put pads down because reasons. The scene continues, and we would see the pad in the scene, and I'm like, all right, whatever. And so, as when you're filming stunts, you have to do them over and over and over and over until everything in the scene contains the ingredients for the director to say, okay, that was good, that was perfect. And so slamming up against the wall, falling on the hard ground, over and over and over and over. And when you're falling, every fall it's organic. You're not doing exactly the same every time. So there's one time I'm crashed on the ground. My helmet is choking me, and I can't see anything. And my dresser runs over and he takes the helmet off, and I'm laying on the ground, and I look up, and Ewan McGregor
Oh my gosh.
Kenobi is standing over me, and he goes, "Chris, are you all right?" And I look up at him, and I'm like,
That is amazing.
"Yes, Obi-Wan," and no joke, I said, "But you do not have the high ground this time." And he goes, "Oh, I would never say that." That was also, we always wanted him to say, "Hello there." And every day when he would get to set, he would go, "Hey."
Oh my
Or
gosh.
he would say, "Hey, what's happening?" Or like, "All right, we ready?" It was just like never, he would never say it. And that's because he's asked to say it like 1,000 times a day. But he was so warm and down to earth. We connected over restoring old cars and motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Just such a great guy. When you mentioned COVID, we shot a Volkswagen commercial with you and promoting Kenobi, and so I was playing C-3PO, and it was after we had shot Kenobi, and after we wrapped on Kenobi, apparently he cut his hair because he arrived to set he's wearing a mask, COVID mask, and his hair is buzzed. And I didn't even recognize it at all. And he walks up, and I'm in the suit up to my neck. My dresser's kind of like giving me coordinating information and stuff. And he walks up right in front of us, and he goes, "Hey guys," and I didn't even recognize him this close. And I go, "Hey." Anyway, so like when we did this, and he was like, "Oh, this looks great," And as soon as he said that, I was like, "Holy crap, this is Ewan McGregor." And I said, "Oh man, Ewan, it's great to see you again. We worked on Kenobi." He was like, Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you kept falling down." That's true. Anyway, it's one of the really special, like I said, surprises of working with these people is that they're just regular people.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think we're probably just about out of time, unfortunately.
Thanks for having
I enjoy
Well, thank you for doing this. This is amazing. I loved hearing your stories.
I'm imagining some of these conversations can continue downstairs for the rest of the convention. So
And then-
thank you guys all for hanging out with us.
We're going to hand these out in the hallway. And then I believe Steve said there's going to be the original artwork. That's signed by Chris and Christine for the auction. So that will be downstairs as well.
Yeah, and this is the artist. Do you know the artist's name?
Stephen Moore.
Stephen Moore, that's right. He does a really cool series of Star Wars characters. I love his technique. I just met him last weekend. He's a really talented artist, and these are really cool.
Great.
I haven't seen the colors. So, Rise of the
Podcast.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
absolutely. Thank you so much.